juicy question I have to say.
Yes, ganyan na ganyan yung itsura niya.
Let's do it!
What the hell? Like, it's me. And you say, oh my God.
It was like, holy beef. What's this going on? Because even now I get like speechless.
Why is it important for a beauty queen to have a good?
You do not know how to speak your mind. You're not going to give your organization much credibility for what you're really fighting for.
Beauty queen doesn't mean perfection. Now I feel embarrassed to say this, but I'm going to do it because that's how I am. So that's gonna go.
My wave became the Miss International wave. Right, Steven?
I have become a patent.
Ito naman yung bumaba. Sabi ko, oh my God, kasi nasabi ko ng planet Hall. Tapos pag inaangat ko, hinihila niya. So ako, angat siya. Hinihila. Oh, hinihila. Ganun kami.
My travels. I love my travels.
I would just want it to be that I gave something back that made them happy.
Money or love?
Love.
Live from Manila, Philippines, welcome back to Mixology Beauty Talks. This is your Mixology International correspondent, Amir Gamama. And good day to all of us, wherever you are, guys, watching right now. And before anything else, I'd just like to welcome my co-host, my favorite co-host, actually, Drew Francisco, the Mixology editor. Hi, Drew. How are you?
Hi, Amir. I'm good, and thanks for the very warm welcome. It feels
Of course,
so
Drew. I
good to
missed
be
it.
back again online. And
Yeah.
Huwag na nating patagalan. Without further ado, let's get the ball rolling. And please, Amir, introduce our very special
Okay.
guest for this.
Our special guest for today is a 23-year-old Filipino Syrian model. She advocates reducing current plastic waste by turning it into usable products. Last Sunday, she was virtually crowned as Miss Philippines Earth 2021 and will represent Philippines in Miss Earth 2021. Friends, let us all welcome the stunning Naila Al-Sorbajri. Hi, Naila. Naila.
Hi, Naila.
Naila, hello.
First of all, welcome to Mixology Beauty Talks. How are you?
I'm doing fine so far. I finally got a full 8 hours of rest since I won, because ever since I won, it's been interviews all day. But I'm not complaining. I'm quite excited. So I want to see how this interview goes.
Yeah, so it's been 6 days since you were crowned as Miss Philippines Earth 2021. And as you mentioned, you've been doing a lot of interviews the past days. So have you adjusted already to being a Miss Philippines Earth title holder?
It took me about 4 days to really absorb what was going around me. But honestly, finally, I completely understand that I'm Miss Earth right now. It's still unbelievable. It still feels surreal, as if it's a dream. But I'm already moving forward with my agenda and my plans with the upcoming competition.
Yes, and I know wala pang 1 week since you were crowned, but how has your life changed so far? Paki-describe naman sa amin.
So far, other than the fact that I got verified on Instagram and that people actually notice who I am and that I'm on the newspaper, on the news and everything around me, and people who I barely even talk to just start messaging me and talking to me. But also the fact that now I have a platform to do the advocacies that I really want. And that's the reason why I joined Miss Earth to begin with, so I could do those. So that's really great.
Yes, and now Amir, I think Amir has a question.
Okay, now Nella. By the way, I forgot to say congratulations. Okay, Nella, as Miss Philippines, there's always a pressure. How are you handling pressure right now and the instant fame that comes with the crown?
Of course, you can't deny that there's always going to be pressure, because pageantry is a really big thing in the Philippines. You always want to be your best and you always want to make your country proud. But at the end of the day, I always try to tell myself there is a reason that you are chosen. You may not be fit for the mold, but you have a good heart and you want to do it for the people. So I always just remind myself that, because I do get insecure. I do get worried that I'm going to mess up. But at the end of the day, I just think about what my purpose is, and that really lights the way.
Wow, I love it. Okay, now winning Miss Philippines Earth has put you into spotlight from growing up in Syria surrounded by farm animals to moving to the Philippines at the age of 11 and afterwards working as a model and joining beauty pageants. But could you tell us something that most people do not know about Naila?
One thing that most people don't know about Naila is that she can make weird types of noises. Do you guys know what the cricket is?
Sorry?
Yes.
You guys know when you shake coins in a
Galing. Yes, yes.
Do you guys know Super Mario?
Yeah.
Of course I know.
Ang galing. In fairness, magagamit mo yan pag tinatanong ka, what's your hidden talent? Diba?
Yeah, actually, they did ask me that in the start of the pageant, but it's not something that I do a lot or post about.
Yes. Ang galing. And now, before we move forward to our next segment, I just want to know, because you have a very unique name, Naila. So could you tell us the story behind the name?
So my father named me Naila because I'm the youngest and only girl out of 4 boys. And they didn't even think that they were even gonna have a girl. My mom got pregnant by accident. And when it came out, they didn't even want to check the gender because like, oh, it's gonna be a boy na naman. Okay, never mind. And then when it became a girl, he was like, oh my God, I want to give this girl everything she wants. So my name means I can have whatever I want. It sounds a little bit mayabang, but it's sweet coming from my father.
Oh, I actually made a research, and another meaning of Naila is actually a winner. What a coincidence that, oops, I think we lost Naila, but she will be back. But while we're waiting for Naila to be back, I just want to read some of the comments from our viewers. From Denaya Swami. Hello, Denaya. And from Alicer at Larep. Hi po. And from La Han, hello. And from Nike Thrower, hello. Yeah. Amir, you're back. While we're waiting for Naila, I'm just reading some of the comments online.
It's okay. You can always read.
Yeah, from Rian, Sawadika. And I think we have Naila back again. So, hi Naila, welcome back.
It's okay, Naila. We understand.
Yeah,
Welcome.
yeah. So we were talking. Yeah, we were talking earlier that I did some research, and one of the meaning of Naila is actually winner. And what a coincidence, because you're actually the winner of Miss Philippines Earth.
I love it. I did not know that, so thank you so much.
Okay, so we move forward to the next segment of our show. So medyo ano lang tayo dito, chill lang, and we want to get to know a bit more about you, aside from the fact that you can do some weird sounds, and that your name actually means you can have whatever you want. So in the segment called This or That, we will ask you to pick between 2 things or 2 scenarios, and you can explain to us why you chose that one. So are you ready?
Yes, I am definitely ready.
We love our ready girl.
Okay, so the first one is easy. Coffee or tea?
Tea, because I'm already a super hyper person, so if I drink coffee, I'll just get agitated.
Okay, the next one. Dogs or cats?
Cats, because I have 2 cats, and as a person who always goes out, I need an animal that is responsible for themselves.
Yes. And what's the name of your 2 cats?
Samira and Galio. They're both named out of the video game that I play a lot, which is League of Legends.
Yeah, so hi cats. Okay. Are you a Facebook person or an Instagram girl?
Instagram. I'm more active towards Instagram than Facebook, really.
Yep, and they can follow you on Instagram at.
You can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram name, because my nickname is Nana, it's Nanayo Business, which is NANAYOW Business. It's just a joke.
Okay, so guys, Pakinggan nyo na lang mabuti behind the meaning of Nanayo business. Hi, Tito Bella, if you're watching. Alala ko yung post mo. And Netflix or YouTube?
YouTube, because I always use YouTube to research on like curling my hair or anything that I need.
Are you also the type of person na you also always fall on a parang YouTube black hole and kung ano-anong videos nilang bigla yung
Oh my
mapapanood?
God, yeah. Sometimes you're like, how did I even get here? You're talking about it's very scientific and you're like, I don't know. I was watching a video of a dog. I don't know how I'm here.
I'm sure a lot of our viewers can relate to that. Okay, the next one, medyo pageant related, swimsuit or evening gown?
Evening gown, because I feel like a full-grown, very elegant lady when I wear an evening gown, and it's the best feeling in the world for me.
Yeah, love it. The next one, sneakers or high heels?
This is very difficult. I would say high heels. That's really hard, high heels.
High heels. The next one, would you rather spend the day at an amusement park or just spend it lazing on the beach?
I would like to spend it lazing on the beach.
Mm-hmm. Especially now that that nasa pandemic tayo, no?
Yeah, because after the entire not just the pandemic, but also after the pageant, because you're doing a lot of things, I just want to take some time, breathe, and read a book by the beach.
Yes, and just a follow-up on that. I was browsing your Instagram the other day, and I saw that pre-pandemic, you've traveled to a lot of places in the Philippines. So if you could recommend to us where the best beach in the Philippines is, where would you take us?
The best beach in the Philippines, I personally like, is in Cagbalete.
Yes.
Because you can walk in Cagbalete and it doesn't even reach your knee. You could walk really, really far from the resort, and it's only like a little bit over your ankles. So it's a good stroll. You don't drown. You don't have a lot of waves. And for me, because I do a lot of kiteboarding, which is an extreme sport, that's my favorite place to go.
Okay, so guys, isama na natin sa ating bucket list, Cagbalete. Okay, going back to our list, the next one, would you rather explore space or the ocean?
I would like to explore space. For some reason, I'm completely terrified of looking at empty blue sea. I feel like I'm gonna be eaten by a whale or something.
Okay, the next one. Would you rather be in a zombie outbreak or an alien invasion?
I feel like an alien invasion because zombies can't really think and you can't learn from them, but I feel like you learn a lot from an alien.
True. I would pick alien invasion too.
Yeah. Why would you pick alien invasion?
To know if there are other creatures out there, or if there are also people like us living in some other planet. There's a whole big universe out there that's waiting to be explored.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. The next one, medyo serious naman tayo. Would you rather have a rewind button or a pause button on your life?
I feel like I would like to have a pause button so that I could enjoy all the things that I have right now. It feels like everything's going so quickly. It's as if I was just 19 yesterday. And it just worries me because, you have your parents around and you just want to make sure you savor all the moments, but at the same time enjoy life. So it's really difficult to have the balance. So I would choose a pause button.
Pause button and savor what's happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. The next one, more time or more money?
I would like to have more money, actually, because
we're actually the same.
It's really hard to choose. I would say more money because it would help me also have more time so that I could hire more people, so I could help people in my country as well as push my projects forward. Because most of my time is being spent on trying to work for money for my
Yes.
projects. So I think that would help it a lot with my time as well.
And the next one, second to the last. Would you rather be criticized or be ignored?
I would rather be criticized because there are instances where it's constructive criticism and you can learn from it. And if you don't learn from it, you can learn from the person. Because sometimes when people criticize you, it's not about you, but it also could be about them.
Yes. And finally, and Amir's favorite.
Yeah, crown or romance?
I would say crown because I prioritize really working toward myself and working for the people around me. For me, romance, a lot of the times could be very short-lived. I am in a relationship. I'm in a 4-year relationship. And the thing is, it's like most of the time you have to work on yourself. So I would
Yep. So while we wait for Nela to be back online, she's having a bit of trouble on her internet connection. Let's read some of the comments again from our fans. So from Tahir, a beautiful interview. Thank you, Tahir, and please stay tuned until Nela is back online. And from Angela Taloza, beautiful. And Christian Morales, she's beautiful. We agree. And from Jess Tolentino, hello, Queen Naila, Drew, and Amir. Hi, Jess, if you're still watching. And we have Naila back again. Hi, Naila.
Oh my God, I'm really sorry. For some reason, my browser keeps doing that. So
No worries.
I would choose crown because not everybody gets the chance to have a crown or even have the position or the platform to make a change. So I would choose the crown. And for romances, it's something that's a part of my life, but the crown is more like the journey for everyone around me, just not for myself.
Yes. Good job. And thank you. Thank you for gamely answering our this or that questions, Naila. And I pass the mic to Amir for the next segment.
At this point, Naila, we would like to shift gears and talk a bit of your journey to the crown. People know you as Miss Philippines Earth now, but who is Naila before joining beauty pageants?
Naila, before joining beauty pageants, is a daughter of a Syrian father and a Filipina mother. She is a very male-dominated personality. She did not think that she was going to be very girly or be part of modeling or even beauty queens. But what Naila truly is a person who has a good heart. She comes from a country of war, and that's the reason she became inclined towards pageantry, because she thought that this is a place where it could help her, help the people where she came from or the people around her.
Wow. Nela? Nawala siya, Besh? Or is still...
Yeah, she's here. Okay. Wait, Amir,
Nela.
I have a follow-up on Naila's answer because you mentioned that you mentioned earlier that you grew up with 4 other brothers. So how was it? How was it growing up surrounded by older brothers, and as the only girl?
Honestly, it's because you get so used to being around boys, you get uncomfortable with being around girls. Actually, at a very young age, I didn't know I was a girl. I only realized I was a girl at 6 years old, and then I cried. My mom said, "Nana, why are you wearing your brother's clothes?" And I was like, "Why do they fit me now?" And she goes, "But you're a girl." I was like, "What do you mean I'm a girl? I'm a boy." So I tend to have boyish personalities, and then some girls wouldn't hang out with me because I'm not girly, because I get rowdy, I want to wrestle when I was younger. So yeah, that's how it's like growing around boys. I actually had to learn how to be a girl at 13, like really girly.
And I'm just curious to know what was your fondest memory as a kid growing up in Syria?
My fondest memories of growing up in Syria is when me and my family would spend time in our farm. We would have, it would be called Friday Family Farm Day. So it's F for all of that. So we would go swimming together. We would have a lot of Arabic food, and I would hang out with the farm animals. And one rule I have in my farm is do not mess with the chickens. They know what's up. They will mess you up. I swear to God.
That sounded like a really, really lovely family and fond memory to have. So, Amir, I pass the mic again to you.
I love the story. But anyway, Nyla, growing up, did it ever cross your mind that you'll become a beauty queen or joining pageants?
No. If you told me at the age of 10, 13, 15, 16 that I would suddenly be Miss Philippines Earth 2021, no, it wouldn't have come up to my mind. Like I said, because I grew up very boyish, very, very not in the beauty world, but I joined these not because of the beauty purpose, but because of the things and the roles that they have.
Wow. Now, in 2017, you joined Miss Manila and you were fourth runner-up. 2 years later, you also joined Miss Paranaque and win the title. Now, how did you think these two experiences modeled you to become the queen that you are today?
I feel like it was my launching pad, really. I didn't understand what beauty pageants are about. I like most people around me who's never joined a pageant, thought it was something just very superficial. It's just skin deep. And after joining these two pageants, I understand what the purpose was. It was humanitarianism. It was being a leader. And it was something, it was a face for a city, a country, or a cause. And that's why I joined Miss Earth, because it was a beauty for a cause, and the cause is the environment, which is something that we really need to take into consideration and do something about.
I'm curious to know, Nela. So after you won Binibining Paranaque in 2019, Miss Philippines Earth na agad yung nasa isip mo. Was it always Miss Earth?
Yes, it was always from my environmental awakening when I understood like how to segregate my own waste and I started watching documentaries. I understand that it's a big necessity to tackle this problem first amongst everything else. If it wouldn't be for this, I would be talking about war, I would be talking about sexual harassment. But then between all these topics, what is the thing that we need to prioritize? The environment, because we can't save anything else if this is not the first thing we tackle. And that's why I decided to join Miss Earth, because of the necessity.
Thank you. Amir?
I pass the yes, Drew. So I pass the mic to you now.
Oh, ako na pala ulit. Hindi masyado ako maraming tanong. Okay, now Nela, let's talk about your Miss Philippines Earth journey. So, 2 years later, from Binibining Paranaque, we saw you again, and now in a national pageant. And it was a record-breaking number of candidates, with more than 60 candidates, and you won. And I remember former Miss Philippines Earth and Miss Earth candidates would always say that the pageant is a marathon and not a sprint. As in, you compete in a lot of pre-pageant activities months prior to the finale. So how did you take on this challenge, especially now that we are with quarantine restrictions in place in the country throughout the entire Miss Philippines Earth pageant?
I took it really at one step at a time. I just looked at the grand scheme of things. I'm like, what do I need to do? What do I need to have done? And then start moving forward. Because if I really think about everything in a grand scale and say, okay, I have to do this all at once, I'm going to get overwhelmed. So I had to mentally prepare myself, physically prepare myself, and try to do the things that I could do right now. And the things that I couldn't do, I just let out of my mind because it's just going to stress me out. From my perspective, what beauty pageants are is not only just intelligence, or physicalities, but it is a mental game. This is a battle for people who can handle their mental stability as much as possible. So that's what I focus most on, because that's where I would crumble if I didn't.
Yes. And I would want to take this opportunity for you to give a shout out to your team that helped you all throughout this journey.
I'm not going to name names. It's going to be a very, very long list.
Yes.
I want to thank my entire glam team. You guys know who you are. You guys are with me from the very start, and I wouldn't be here without you guys. I want to thank Merville Barangay as well, the entirety of Parañaque and the tourism hall there. I want to thank my family and my friends who have been there from the start, who's been voting for me, rooting for me, and knowing that I would win because they had their trust in me. And I want every single supporter and all my fans to know that I love you very much. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. My win is your win, so I really want to thank you to the bottom of my heart.
Yeah. And now that you mentioned your win, my next question is related to this photo that I will be flashing now. So the winning moment is something that beauty queens like you will always remember for the rest of their lives. But yours, however, was a bit different because of the virtual setup of Miss Philippines Earth.
Oh,
So could you take us back to that moment when Robbie Domingo on Zoom finally revealed to you that you actually won Miss Philippines Earth?
So honestly speaking, they didn't really tell us it was going to be the crowning moment. So I was completely oblivious to what was going to go on. They said, okay, you get ready in a gown, you look pretty, it's probably going to be Q&A. So I was like, okay. So I walked in, and then I was standing there, and they're like, Dorothy's like, are you ready, Nana? And then I was like, okay. So he's like, you're in the top 10. And then after that, he asked me my question, and then I went away. Backstage, I was just waiting, reading my questions and trying to answer and stimulate my brain. And then when he called me in, I thought there was going to be another question, because I thought there's another question for top 5. And then when I stood there, he said, are you ready, Nana? I said, yes. And then he says, you're the winner of Miss Philippines Earth 2021. And that's why my reaction was like that, because I was really shocked. I was waiting for a question, not for the winning moment.
Winning moment.
Yeah, so it was, all the girls felt the same. It was really shocking.
Yep. And I just want to know, all throughout the journey, which part of the competition was your favorite?
My favorite, personally, would be the long gown. If you saw the pre-pageant long gown video, it looks like utter darkness at the back. I find it hilarious. It's my favorite video of all the competitions. It was filmed in a basketball court, so nobody really noticed. That was the funny part. It looked really nice. And also my makeup artist / my handler was the person who designed that gown. And she hasn't designed gowns in 15 years. So it was a great honor to even wear it. And then she was there holding my hand along the entire way. So that's my favorite one.
And Drew, let me add this up. Also saw Drew, Tito Rog on the background during the photos were released. He was there. So what was the word, or should I say, what did you tell to Sir Tito Rog then? Or what did Tito Rog say to you afterwards that you were announced as the winner?
We were all just standing there for a few. Like, I was just looking at them. I was like, did you guys hear what I heard? Is this true? So after the cameras closed, they all just really hugged me, because prior to that, I was actually telling Tito Rog, takot kasi ako, baka hindi maganda yung sagot ko. Like, I was worried. And then I said, okay lang, sa top 5 babawiin ko. So I was there and I was like, okay, I'm going to make the best answer. I got this. This is my redemption answer. And then I stood there and he says, you won. I was like, what? What do you mean? I don't need to make my redemption answer?
Yep. Now that you mentioned the Q&A, I just want to say this in public, because I posted it on my private social media accounts while watching MPE, that I appreciated the girls, especially you, for not inserting environment in Mother Earth while answering the 2 questions. Because I remember the questions were not really asking about your advocacy. It was a test to know more about your personality. And I actually appreciated that you were very candid and natural in answering the question. And I think that was the key. That was the key to your winning.
Oh, that's really sweet. Thank you. A lot of
I
people,
also agree with Drew. I agree with Drew.
a lot
As
of people
most of
are actually, go on. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, go Naila.
The funny thing is, a lot of people were complaining that my answer is not as flowery or it's not decorated compared to other candidates. But my brother, because he's a writer, he listened to all the answer and he says, "You're one of the only people who actually answered the question, because the question was about how can you move forward during the pandemic." But I was more focused on making it flowery, so that's why I was a
Yeah.
little bit disappointed.
Yeah. I remember reading a tweet, and that tweet said that you actually answered the how in the question, and I think I actually agree. I think that was the key to your winning. Again, I mentioned it the second time, but before we move forward to the next segment, Naila, I just want to ask. I've always wanted to ask this to a girl who competed in a virtual pageant, because they say that high risk equals high reward. So, what have you risked during the
Um,
pandemic to get the crown?
I had a lot of things going on, and I really wanted to back out at some point because I had a lot of family problems that was on my shoulder. I had to take care of my father. I had to provide for my own money. My sponsor actually backed out, so I had to pay for my entire videography team and work at the same time. And my house got flooded in the middle of. So I had a lot of things that was going on. I remember walking on the street, looking at the sky, asking the cosmos. I was like, I've been having a very difficult life for how many years right now? I know that this is character development, but I'm hoping that this comes with a good reward. So I'm like, I'm just gonna stick through it and see what happens. And I'm glad I did, because I'm so surprised that I even won. I feel like all the negativity, all the hardship was rewarded somehow. And I'm glad, because I spent most of the rest of my money for this.
Nakamute pala ako,
And now we
sorry.
move forward to your
Yeah, but ngayon lang namin nalaman that you actually almost wanted to back out, and you actually had to go through a lot during Miss Philippines Earth, and hindi lang di pa mas mahirap pa because we're in a pandemic. So props to you, Naila. Well deserved win. And before Amir, another last question na. Naila, I know that in a virtual pageant, mahirap makipag-friends because you're away from each other. But did you manage to gain new friends from the 66 or 68 girls that you competed with in Miss Philippines?
Actually, I've met a few girls when I was going for my pasarela training. And there was one specific girl. She is Talisay Cebu. She's currently my best friend, and I'm so happy that she joined. And I keep telling her that even if she didn't win a crown, that she is a queen. She is my idol when it comes to environment, and I super love her. And I thank God that she joined, and I thank God that I joined Miss Earth this year, because I was able to meet her. And not only her, I was able to meet Miss Air from last year, Patricia.
Yes.
She's also a person who became super close to me. A very intellectual woman. She's into law, and I'm so glad that I was able to meet her. It's nice that even if there's a pandemic, you can still get closer to other people. And I think that's very important right now, because you feel so segregated and alone. So I'm glad I joined this pageant, because I get to find new people and even talk to you guys. It's crazy.
Yes. Sayang, no? We would have been doing this in person if not for the pandemic.
If only we could see you. I mean, in person.
Yeah. So now, Amir, kanina pa kita kinakat, so I'll pass the mic to you now.
It's okay, Drew. Now, Naila, we all know that Miss Earth Philippines, or Miss Earth per se, are known for their beauty for a cause mantra. In your Miss Earth Philippine profile, you mentioned reducing plastic waste as your environmental advocacy. Now, can you tell us more about your own personal advocacy?
Well, my advocacy, I actually started this around 2019 after I won Miss Philippines, Miss Parañaque. I talked to my barangay because I wanted to reduce the amount of plastic waste with this kind of program. What that program is turning plastic waste into quality materials with machines. These machines shred these plastics, melt them with a mold, and create whatever you want. So you can make park benches, tables, you can make small trinkets, toys, yo-yos, anything you can think. And that's why my motto is, if there's a mold, there's a way. And why I think this is a good solution is because this can give jobs to people. You can use this for furniture within public schools. So it helps the environment, it helps with this public schools, and also it can help earn money. So a lot of the problems in terms of environment and environmental solutions is, does the economy have to suffer in terms of the environment? Do we have to sacrifice one or the other? But with this solution, you have both. You're economically saving the country and environmentally saving the country. So I think that's a really good solution. And we need to tackle plastic because it is a serious problem. We all have microplastic in us at this point.
Yeah, I really agree with you, Nella. And other than that, is there any advocacy or cause that you would like to advocate for, and why?
I would like to tackle on waste management as a whole, because I don't think this country or all the countries around the world tackle it properly, because we could use waste and turn them into quality stuff. So you could use waste for foods that is just thrown in the garbage and turn it into fertilizer. And each household can do that with bokashi. It doesn't really smell. I do that at home as well. And circular economy. I believe that if we create something, it must go somewhere. It must be in a cycle, and it must not be disposable, because we are the only creatures, living species, that has like non-biodegradable items. And I don't think that's right. I don't think that's normal. We're disrupting the natural cycle of the entire world.
Okay. Wow.
Sometimes I look angry.
I have to add on that. I remember reading that you also have a vlog.
Yeah.
When you talk about mental health awareness, could you share more about that too?
Actually, I wasn't able to upload, but I do have still a lot of scripts. I just have a lot of things on my plate that I wasn't able to push through completely with it. But the reason I started with my mental health blog was because I heard that there was an increase of suicide rates around the world due to the pandemic. And as a person who's gone through a lot of mental problems, I even had a therapist before, I know how difficult it is to be in that frame of mind. So I started talking to psychologists from St. Luke's. I started talking to my old psychologist from college. And I also talked to another psychologist who has her own clinic. And I was talking about different things that need to be tackled and how to tackle different questions, like what to deal with overthinking, how to reframe your mindset, how to have holistic medicine. And I put that into my vlog because I thought it was very, very necessary for the people around me. And as a person who's experienced it, it's easy for me to advocate it.
So thank you, Nayla, for sharing that. And I do hope you find the time soon, because it will be very helpful, especially at this time.
And let us know also if you will be downloading the video.
Okay. This video? What video?
Your blog.
Naghang ka kasi, Amir, kaya biglang hindi namin alam what were you saying.
The vlog.
I think Amir is lagging, so I will ask the next question. So a lot of the fans have been asking about Miss Earth and where or when will it happen, but I don't think we're in the right position to say where or when or how Miss Earth 2021 will be happening. So I will just ask you, Nayla, about representing the Philippines in Miss Earth. So I know you've only won Miss Philippines Earth 6 days ago, but could you walk us through your plans? How will you take on the Miss Earth competition?
So far, I'm already trying to figure out my program moving forward, not just physical, mental, or intellectual, but I'm trying to figure out how I can represent the country the best way I can. I want to talk, and I'm booking a meeting with the head of the environment here to know what
Yep. I think we lost Naila again, but we will try to get her back on online. So let's just read some of the comments again, Amir. From Oki, Kumusta Miss Philippines? And Just Tolentino, looking forward to a crowning photo shoot with Queen Roxy. I'm also so looking forward to that, Jess. And from Dicky, I love the way you talk, not only clear but also panty and censored. Comedy ka dun, ah. And let's look for some more questions. From Miss Earth Belize, or congratulations, Neila Oshobaji. And also, shout out to the new Miss Earth Belize. Congratulations on your crowning. And from Renz Herrero, Nana is very smart and truly genuine. Do you agree, Amir?
I really agree. Nana is
Yeah.
very smart.
And
Really.
from BSC na Sana Painamay, awesome. And I would also like to take this opportunity to announce that we will also be doing a live chat series later on at 7 p.m. with Mr. Filipinas candidates. So, guys, if you're free at those times, please do tune in. So we have Nana back on the show. Nana, hello, welcome back.
It's like I'm doing jumping jacks from in and out of the show. I'm really sorry.
No worries. Okay, so Amir has another question.
Go on.
Okay,
Go,
you are
Amir.
following the footsteps of some really accomplished names in the pageant scene like Angelia Ong, Karen Vasco, and Roxy Bayens. And to be successful in Miss Earth, you have been undergo a lot of trainings, or you should say the three important, rather, pre-judging events, namely the beauty of the face, figure, and the form and intelligence around. Which part of the competition do you think is your edge?
I feel like my edge would be, I would think either the face or the intelligence round. One, the face because I'm half Asian and then half Arab, and I don't think that's a normal mix amongst beauty queens. I haven't met a lot of them. And the intelligence round is because one, I'm very passionate about the environment. Number two, I don't necessarily think like a beauty queen, but I think for the people. So I think that would be my edge in those terms.
Really agree. Face, you have the face, brain, everything you have. Sana all na lang.
You're too sweet. You make me want to
Juke,
send you some
can you hear me
milk
now?
Bawal,
Envy
bawal kay
here,
Amir ang
envy.
milk tea.
Sana all.
Bakit?
By the way, are you a Muslim, Laila?
Technically speaking, I'm
Oh, I
Muslim.
like milk tea.
Let's have some coffee sometime. I'll keep that in mind. I am Muslim on paper. I'm born Muslim, but I
Hanga ako
have yet
dyan, hindi. No.
a religion that I resonate with the most.
Mhm. Yeah. So I think Amir is lagging again, but I think
Yeah.
Amir asked about Muslim because Amir is Muslim.
His name sounds Muslim, actually, Amir.
Yes.
That
Yes,
means
he's a Yes, Prince. Okay, so I'll ask Amir's next question because he's lagging again. So I think we wanted to know if you have already talked to some of your 2021 Miss Earth fellow delegates.
the delegates. Yes, I have talked to some of them. I would train with them sometimes. They're quite lovely. The problem is, I wish I could talk to all of them. You know, when you join a traditional pageant or a live pageant, you would usually bond with all the girls around. You get to know them. You have some bonding moments. But with this, we don't really have that. And since most of our time is spent on videoing and videography, and we get exhausted from that, we don't really go out of our way to message all the other girls and hang out. So that's the downside. But at least we're protected, so that's the good thing.
Yeah. And I just want to bring this up again because earlier when you were away, we were reading some of the comments, and Miss Earth Belize actually uh, left a comment. Congratulations, Naila.
Thank you so much, Miss Earth Belize.
So, yeah. So we now move forward to the next segment, which is called Ask the Queen. So I mentioned earlier backstage that we asked the fans to send in some of their questions and we picked the best one. So are you ready to answer the top fan questions?
Yes.
Okay, so the first question is from B. Kyle from Instagram. Now, what do you wish to achieve in your reign as Miss Philippines Earth 2021?
What I would really want to achieve is pursuing all the projects that I want. I want to make sure that I make a difference because when I was a little girl, I asked myself, when I moved away from Syria, I felt so powerless. I felt like I couldn't do anything with my life or make a change. The fact that I'm given this platform, I want to make sure that I could make a change because I want to look back. And if my little self saw me now, they would say, oh my goodness, you actually did it. You actually made a difference. And that's what I want to see.
And the next question is from Rahul Mesa, also from Instagram. What do you think is the biggest misconception about your generation?
A lot of the times people talk about our generation and say that we easily give up on things. But I don't think that's true. I believe we are the generation that does not allow false premises to go forward. If something we don't believe in, if somebody says something to us that we don't want to do and we don't believe in, we're going to stop there and look at you and say, why are you even doing this? Because back in the day, you only follow orders. You never question the reality. You never question the people around you. But the people of this generation are more awakened with these kind of things. That's why I'm really happy to say, but a lot of the generations right now really look at the environment and want to make a difference. And I think that's a great thing. I think because we know that the youth pave the future of tomorrow. And it's nice to see that the youth have a voice and they stand up for themselves.
Yes. Well said, well said. And finally, the last question from the fans is from Love Marie Crown on Facebook. What do you think is the most important thing a judge should know about the contestant?
For me, personally speaking, because I think that a judge should know what a contestant has gone through in their life. Because as a leader, in order for you to lead other people, you must understand their emotion. You must understand what they've been through. So if a contestant has been through several different difficulties, they would know what to say to lead an entire community. And I think that's very essential because it's difficult to have a person who is considered privileged and doesn't know what struggle is to lead the entirety of a city. And if a person is privileged, usually they'll find it in their heart to understand other people. And that's the amazing thing about Beauty Queens. They have the choice of doing both.
Well said. I'll give you some seconds to breathe because the next segment, Naila, will be a bit more intense as we move forward to the weighted Q&A challenge. So this is like a rite of passage for all the queens that we interview on Beauty Talk. So some of the questions, however, have already been asked in previous pageants, especially in Miss Earth and Miss Philippines Earth. So I'm sure you've tackled some of these topics in your Q&A training. So in this segment, we will assume that you're in the final Q&A of Miss Earth. So if you could please give us 3 numbers from 1 to 10, and then we will ask you the corresponding question. So
1 to 10.
The first number, please.
3, 6, and 9. So I'm gonna go with odd numbers.
3, 6, and 9. So let's start with number 3. Number 3 was asked in Miss Philippines Earth 2019.
Okay.
Which do you think is a better strategy to encourage people to be environmentally conscious, give incentives for good environmental practice, or penalize bad eco habits, and why?
I believe that, and this is something that I take from psychology, when you give good incentives, it would go for them to try to make it even better. They want to strive to help more because they know that they're doing something good for themselves as well as people around them. But when you penalize something for doing bad habits, they have an instant negativity and regret within themselves. So I really do believe that if we give good incentives, then people around us would want to be better for everybody in the world. Woo!
Woo! One down. Okay. The next
She's ready,
question,
Drew.
Nayla. Yeah, I agree. The next question, Nayla, was asked in Miss Earth 2003. I think you're still a baby back then.
Probably. Beauty, beauty.
Okay. Number 6. At the end of each rainbow, so the saying goes, is a pot of gold. As a woman of the earth, instead of a pot of gold, what else would you rather find at the end of the rainbow?
As a person who is a woman of the earth and a person who's constantly struggling to find solutions, at the end of the rainbow, I would like a note from the future to tell me how to deal with this situation. Because honestly, I'm always trying to be worried because I feel like I don't have a future for my children or a future for my future's children. So I feel like if I have that note, then I could act now and make sure that we have a future for the entirety of the country or the entirety of the world. Because in the end of the day, we want a greener tomorrow.
Tapusin na natin to. Tapos na ang laban. Just kidding. Well said, Nayla. And I love how optimistic that answer was. Nakaka-inspire. And finally, number 9. This question was asked in Miss World America 2015. Number 9. In light of many recent socio-political controversies, do you feel as a title holder it is better to take a neutral stance or express your opinion on the issue at hand?
I believe that taking a neutral stance doesn't necessarily mean you're not expressing your personal opinion. You can always express your personal opinion, but you must understand the different sides. You are a leader of a community. You cannot ridicule the other side, but you have to understand both and become the bridge that unites everybody. At the end of the day, what are beauty queens? But people who unite a community so that we could bring it forward and have a progressive future.
Thank you, Nayla, for gamely answering our Q&A challenge. I said 3, but can I ask one more? Pero don't worry, this is very light. Okay, so there's one question that you didn't pick that I wanted to ask. What makes you blush?
What makes me blush? I would say if somebody gives me food, I would usually blush because I obviously super love food, and at the same time, the fact that somebody knows that, I get super excited. This is a very random question, sorry. Caught me off guard.
You mentioned food. What's your favorite food?
My favorite food, Filipino, would be kare-kare.
Same.
Really? Do you know the history of why it's called kare-kare?
No. What? Favorite ko siya pero hindi ko alam.
Sobrang laugh trip siya. That's why it's also my favorite food because kare-kare is Filipino curry and kare is Filipino accent of curry.
Okay.
So I find it hilarious. That's why it's also my favorite food.
Yeah, but I always request that every birthday.
Tama na. Never see each other. Kare-kare na.
Yes. So thank you, Nayla, for gamely answering.
Well done, Nayla. Well done. You're so ready.
And I just want to read some comments from our viewers. From Shiara, power to this question, number 6. Right. And from Architect Gilbert, gandosang talaga ang Pilipinas. Yes. And from Lynette. Hi, Lynette. Salang na natin yan sa Miss Earth agad.
Hi, Lynette. Pagkusyano.
Thank you, Lanelle.
Yan yung sinasabi ko, Drew. If the pageant is tomorrow, Nayla is already.
guys are too sweet. But I want to hear what your comments, what is your suggestion, how I can improve, because you guys have been in the industry for a while, so I would love to hear something about that.
Yes. Later after the show.
Thank you.
So, Nela, we're done with the Q&A challenge. It's now the final word. So, Amir, this is your turn.
Okay, now that I am pressuring you, but expectations are very high, especially when it comes to Miss Earth Philippines Sash, following Rox's Elemental Crown, finished in last year's Miss Earth. What about yours? What are your expectations going to Miss Earth?
My expectations going into Miss Earth and joining the competition, I don't want to think about winning because I don't want to have that pressure on me. That's exactly what I did when I joined Miss Philippines Earth at the same time, because the more you think about the crown, the more you put pressure towards yourself. But what I want to do is represent the country the best way that I can and mold myself to becoming the optimal version of myself, not for me, but for the entirety of the country. Because I want people to look at my performance and say, Pinayan, Pinayan. Sa puso ko, alam ko Pinayan.
Yeah, I can see that also, Nyla. Now, as a beauty queen, you're not just a face of the beauty, but also an ambassador for your country. So how will you introduce Philippines to your fellow Miss Earth contestants?
I would like to introduce it as a country that is ever so beautiful, people who are super, how do I say, not only humble, but at the same time very welcoming. So I want to bring that personality towards that competition and show them what Filipinos are truly about. We are something for people not to look down on. We are someone that everyone would love. So that's what I want to bring and show everyone.
Very excited, Nyla. And going forward, what can we expect from Nyla for this year's Miss Earth?
What you can expect is the best version of myself. What you can expect is a lot of pasabog, so stay tuned. And if you like my performance in Miss Philippines Earth, just know that I want to strive and become way better than that. I want to figure out what my weakest point is and develop it and just refinement to the max. And also, if anybody here has any suggestions that you can make sure you can just follow me or comment something, I would love to hear your opinions about it. And just know that I'm pure love and pure understanding, and I don't mind any constructive criticism because I know it's going to help me be better.
And now, Nela, I have the penultimate question. Let us imagine that there is a time machine and you can go back in time and talk to that 11-year-old Nela who just moved from Syria to the Philippines. What would you tell her?
I would go back in time and tell the little version of me that it's okay to make mistakes. Because when I was growing up, I was always ashamed of being ridiculed if I was stupid. I was ashamed of people talking about who I am in a bad way. And I just want her to know that it's okay to make mistakes. These are learning moments. You should love yourself and know that the people around you are also figuring things out. Nobody is perfect, and we're all just trying to find our purpose in our journey. And you need to focus on what your purpose is. Because, honey, you feel worried today, but the moment you find your purpose, you're going to light up, I swear. Because me, I am here today just because I found my purpose.
And finally, Nela, please fill in the blank. I am Nela Al-Sharbaji from the Philippines, and I am black.
Hi, everybody. My name is Nela Sharbaji, and I'm from the Philippines. And I am a woman of the people, and I am woman of the earth, and I am a woman for change.
Yes. Thank you once again, Nela, for joining us on Mississology Beauty Talks. And before we let you go, we just want to ask you for a quick message to all your supporters and to your team and to everyone who supported you throughout your journey.
I think we're already
and to all the fans then, because some of them are still commenting right now. A quick message lang.
I just want to say thank you to everybody. Know that I really appreciate all of you. I can't wait to have a private session with all my fans where we can get to know each other on a personal level. So I'm excited about that. And just know this is just the beginning. I'm ever so excited to join the international pageant. So I hope you can support me along the way and let me know how I can help you in any way. So thank you so much, everybody, and stay tuned and watch the rest of the Missology videos and the talks. And thank you for coming by. So thank you, guys.
Thank you, Nyla, and I'm waiting for your milk tea. and I just want to say, Drew, thank you to Miss Mylene. Miss Mylene, if you're watching right now, thank you. And also to Miss Earth Philippines Organization. Thank you so much for having us here. Miss Nela. Nela, thank you so much.
Thank you, Nela. And if you want to watch our previous episodes, you can go to our Facebook page and YouTube channel. You can also listen to our podcast on Anchor.fm and Spotify. This episode will be uploaded on Spotify in a few hours, so please do check it out. So till the next Beauty Talks, good day, everyone.
Good day.
Hey.